Thank you, Chairman. Redrawing and restructuring Dáil constituent boundaries is an issue that can cause huge grievances and protests, but it's obviously a necessary part of the political process, which takes into account both the constitutional requirements and the findings of the census. It was a long time before I took an interest in politics. Indeed, I was only 2 years of age when the most infamous Dáil constituency changes took place in 1977, and the term Tullymander entered the Irish political vocabulary. That episode, as well as another incident or two, have confirmed that any changes to electoral laws must be overseen and conducted by an explicitly independent authority. That we have a Constituency Commission whose establishment is defined by law and whose activities and operations are unfettered is one of the most fundamental features of our democracy. The Commission is enhanced by the fact that that any citizen in any constituency can contribute a submission containing his or her thoughts, views and opinions on the Commission's task. This current Commission received in excess of 530 submissions, a substantial increase from 99 in 2004 and 335 submissions in 2007. Furthermore, 4 out of every 5 submissions were from a non-party political person or organisation, thereby demonstrating an ever-increasing and very welcome engagement and interest among citizens with a significant component of Irish political life. It is testament to the resolve of the Government to be transparent, fair and honest that this bill, the Electoral Amendment Dáil Constituencies Bill, has been introduced speedily so as to enact the findings of the Commission. The bill further contains measures which meet commitments given by this Government to reduce the number of TDs to 158 and the number of constituencies to 40. These are measures which will save over 2 million and have been broadly welcomed. More contentious, however, are the proposed changes to the constituencies. The Commission worked on the basis that breaching county boundaries would be avoided as far as practicable. With this knowledge, there was what turned out to be a false sense that constituencies, with 1 or 2 exceptions, would more or less adhere to county boundaries. It must be emphasised that county boundaries are recognised boundaries which existed more or less the same for centuries. However, the numbers, we have been told, fail to stack up, particularly in certain regions, most notably in the West. In a statement which caused trepidation in some quarters, the Commission declared that an arrangement of constituencies based exclusively on county boundaries is not feasible. Breaches in county boundaries already in existence, including in Carlow, Clare, Meath and Westmeath, are now being joined by new breaches in Cavan, Donegal, Galway, Kildare, Mayo and Tipperary. And whilst I ardently respect the decisions of the Constituency Commission and defend strongly its independence and impartiality, and I appreciate the difficulties facing it in taking on board the constitutional and legislative requirements regarding Dáil representation levels and TD's numbers, nonetheless, I have to express reservations about the abundance of county boundary breaches. It seems to me, in the West and North West at least, that in order to reunite the county of Leitrim, we are carving up counties across the region, including Cavan, Donegal, Mayo, Roscommon and perhaps most significantly in Galway. My fear is that such a large-scale breaches in county boundaries are going to result in isolation and alienation from the national political process and discourage political participation and voter turnout. It could well be said that sufficient consideration has not been given to these consequences because they are simply not a factor for Dublin and many other major population centres. In my own constituency, the Commission proposals will see a total of 9 electoral divisions of Mayo, including the Neil, Cong, Shrule, Garrymore and Ballinrobe, transfer to Galway West. The people of these areas are rightly proud of their Mayo roots, a county with its own newspapers, radio stations, county council, etc., community organisations, sporting teams and so on. I appreciate their fears that their voice will somehow be drowned out by the influence on or focus on Galway, the larger county in the new configuration. I want to assuage these concerns and pledge here that now that as a TD I will represent the citizens of South Mayo to the best of my ability if elected in a new Galway West South East Mayo constituency. I will work for them as I currently do for the citizens of Galway West. Having said that, I believe the situation whereby this area of Mayo is lumped in with a larger Galway West, there is huge concern in that part of Mayo that their voice will be drowned out in this whole new configuration. And I think if the Commission had looked at the map and they could see, for example, that the town of Headford, which is in Galway East, it remains in Galway East, even though there is a large connection between that part of Mayo and Headford as well. So if they'd actually looked properly at the maps, I think they would have come up with a much better, fairer configuration. I also believe that the Government must take action to ensure a smooth introduction of the proposed changes by outlining as soon as possible the names of the new constituencies if there are to be further changes from the document we received to better reflect the new configurations, and also hold information campaign on the upcoming changes so that each and every citizen knows who their representatives are in the National Parliament. Thank you.